This is the Fatboy Show on RX Radio, and my name is Fatboy. Hoping that you're doing good on this very beautiful Tuesday morning. Of course, Olive unfortunately is not doing too good. Today she's suffering from a cold. She has lost her voice. I tried speaking to her on the phone, and she was just croaking like an old lady. So do be careful and beware. There must be some sort of new strain of cold or flu that's circulating and is infecting people. And so now would be a good time for you to take care of your immunity before you catch it. Normally when someone catches a cold or gets flu is when they start popping the vitamin pills and the supplements and drinking juice. Like, dude, that's supposed to happen before. You're supposed to be doing that stuff to fortify your immunity so that either you don't get infected, or that if you are, its effect is minimal. But once you're already infected and you start just guzzling orange juice, like that isn't going to do that much for you, and you'll probably go through the illness as you would if you just never taken it. It'll run through, the disease will run its natural course, and then you'll recover on the other side. Thankfully, neither a cold nor a flu is a typically fatal illness, and so you'll be just fine. But for future reference, please consider taking care of yourself earlier. Always make it a habit to be drinking fluids regularly, to be consuming vitamin-rich foods such as obviously fruits and all that kind of stuff, juice and all those nice things, so that you are able to stay healthy. And we are living in a time where we definitely need to think about our own well-being, whether health or security and safety, at a time when there's all these instances of security guards shooting up people. The bodyguard of that minister who shot him just out of the blue. What about the Indian man, the moneylender, who was just there in his office and he was talking to this police guy, and then the police guy just pulled out his gun and shot him. You must have seen the video. Very gruesome video. And what struck me personally about that video is that the entire time the police constable seemed nonchalant. Because at first I was like, wait, maybe it's a mental illness issue. Maybe like he bust a wire or a fuse in his brain and then he just went crazy and yet when you observe the footage, he just seems to be calm and calculating all through. It did not seem like he was out of his mind. It seemed like he knew exactly what he was doing. But if so, what would prompt him to do that? He shot the Indian moneylender, and then after everyone had fled the room, he came back to the room, retrieved some documents, and then left. And then in other footage that we saw him walking into the Kampala Central Police Station. So yeah, it was very, very crazy. But what could have prompted, in this particular case, that police constable to shoot this unfortunate money lender? Well, as it turns out, according to an initial medical test that was conducted by the police, it's indicating that this 30-year-old constable, Ivan Wabwire, that's his name, who on Friday shot the Indian moneylender, that he was of sound mind. Can you believe it? It's crazy. So the police spokesperson, Fred Enanga, was offering an update on the status of the investigation yesterday on Monday. And he said that after the arrest of Wabwire from Busia, you see, he was trying to cross into neighbouring Kenya. So perhaps he was of sound mind. These were all very calculated moves. So he was captured as he was attempting to flee the country. And then he was subjected to a medical test by the police surgeon. And the outcome of the tests is that he's okay. He's of sound mind. He's not crazy. He's not. Now, I'm not sure that the police surgeon, if that's his title, would be the person qualified to conduct such a test. I would think you'd need to send this guy over to Butabika Hospital or some other mental, health facility to be examined by psychologists. For them to be able to determine that he is of sound mind. Anyway, so while being interviewed, Wabwire told the police apparently that he killed the Indian moneylender, Uttam Bhandari, that was his name, because he according to Wabwire, he felt cheated by the moneylender. According to the police spokesperson, following the police spokesperson, following the constable's arrest, he was interrogated, and he didn't appear remorseful, and he didn't even say he was sorry for what he did. And then he admitted to having murdered the victim for allegedly cheating him on his loan portfolio. He indicated that he had no remorse. This is so weird. So it turns out that Wabwire had in 2020 taken a loan of 1 million shillings. A mere 1 million shillings. Well, okay, maybe for a policeman it's a lot of money. So he took this loan from a company known as TFS Financial Services, which is owned by the victim, Mr. Bhandari. And then he was supposed to pay 320,000 shillings as interest on that loan. According to Enanga, before he could complete the initial loan, the police constable took another loan in 2021 of another 1 million shillings under similar terms, and he was supposed to pay 110,000 shillings per month to the moneylender. Now the police are saying that the actions by Wabwire show that he had planned everything leading to the shooting. So it's one thing to determine that he was of sound mind, like maybe like mentally his brain can function. I guess the question now becomes the quality of the functioning. I'm just trying to say this guy must have been stupid, or must be stupid, because if you are of sound mind, how is it that you can come to the conclusion that the best way out of a loan situation, let's say you're unhappy with the terms, you feel like the interest payments are quite steep or something like that, which from what I can tell, this seems like sort of normal, like it's nothing out of the ordinary here. You know, many money lenders, 15% per month, isn't that the range typically? In which case, if you borrowed $1 million, you'd be borrowing you'd be paying something like 150k a month. So yeah, so what he was being made to pay as interest didn't even seem out of the ordinary. So he ought to have known about that as he was going in to take the loan. And if he didn't, well, next time read the fine print. Loans aren't there to just be picked like off of a tree, like leaves, and then you're not supposed to think about the consequences. Woo! And then, so you shoot up the guy, and then you think you're just gonna walk away and just disappear into the ether, cross into Kenya. Because I don't know in what capacity he was operating as a police officer. Like, I don't know what his deployment was. But policemen in Uganda are known to be quite enterprising. Ask the traffic ones, the traffic police. I think a traffic police is gonna be stressing over a 1 million shilling loan. He can make that money in 2 days. Just all he needs to do is to stand on the road and flag down vehicles that he will accuse of either having terrible tires, or no insurance, or no driving permit. You know how it rolls. Our traffic cops, they just make a killing. And then there are other ways, right? And I'm not saying this is right, but I'm just saying typically police personnel tend to be quite enterprising. And so to opt to take someone's life over a loan of just 1 million shillings just seems a bit extreme. So even if it is the case that he is of sound mind, he certainly wasn't very smart.